Hey guys, welcome back to Good Intentions with Lisa-Tien, me. I am here again recording this third episode for the second time because even though I was not motivated and didn't want to do anything yesterday because it was a rainy, dreary day, told myself, bitch, let's just record an episode. So I talked for an hour. I felt like it was a really good episode. And then last night I went to go edit and the audio was not playing. There was no sound. So here I am again. I just have so many things to say. So it's kind of funny because I have this limiting belief where I think about after I release whatever 4, 5, 6 episodes, what if I run out of things to talk about? And I don't think that's possible because in my head, I would be like, okay, well, this episode will be like a short 20-minute episode. And no, it went on for an hour. So much content, so many things to share. But let me just pop off on today. If y'all are watching this, got my extensions put back in, 20 inches of long hair. Definitely don't care, but do. And it's actually pretty hot. Like, it's hot. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. I'm wearing these sweatpants because I took a Vyvanse today. I needed to. I feel like I'm rambling on, but anyway, I took a Vyvanse today and I drank 2 cups of coffee, and I will explain in a little bit why. But again, with the whole ADHD thing, I am super routine, and because I just was recovering from the weekend that I didn't really want to do anything yesterday, which was a Monday, my day off. So anyway, because I'm on my meds, I was like, you know what? We're going to go to the grocery store at 7:30 p.m. It's fine. We need to restock on things. And we wasted a whole day yesterday. I mean, it wasn't a waste. But I do not like not being productive anymore. So yesterday, because again, it was raining, I have not eaten an edible or smoked in quite a while. I've always kind of struggled with the habit of if I'm high, I'm going to eat everything. So since I got my boobs done, I can't smoke in general, like 12 weeks post surgery. So no vaping, no smoking weed. And I had these Delta gummies that I bought a couple months ago, and I would just eat them a few days a week. And once I ate all of them, I was like, you know what? I don't need these anymore because I don't know if it's with the ADHD, but with my brain, I do not react well with it. Like, I love being high, but I cannot control myself. I will DoorDash. So yes, my friend put an edible in my purse. Even though he asked me if I wanted one, I said, no, I'm good. He went ahead and put one in my purse. So I had it for a couple weeks anyway. And because I'm recovering from the weekend, I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and eat one. And it fucked me up. It was so unexpected. It was probably real and not Delta, but it was a tiny little bitty one, so I ate the whole thing. And of course, it is just part of my routine habit or whatever. If I'm smoking or whatever, I am going to have food. So I already was door dashing some ramen and some sushi. I did not binge eat all of it, thank goodness. But as it was being delivered, I'm already on DoorDash. Well, this is Grubhub actually, to get some dessert delivered because this place that I order ramen from, they don't have dessert. And because I have this inner fat girl, I had to have dessert. Okay, so I ate that. I ate the cookies and the brownies. I didn't eat all of it. But anyway, after I ate, I was like, okay, this shit is hitting and it is continuing to hit. It is not stopping. I was sitting here kind of like just like motioning back and forth. I'm like, wait, am I moving or I don't even know? And so many times I had to get up to go pee, and I was just like, I'm scared to get up because there have been a handful of times where I have completely blacked out. I don't know if it's my blood sugar, blood pressure, but like when I stand up to go do something, I will just black out and collapse and fall. So, I had to be very conscious and very like, let's take little steps. Let's be close to the wall. I was not expecting it to fuck me up like that. I passed out at about 8:30. I just remember I ate whatever I wanted to eat, and then luckily I was smart and prepared, and I went ahead and took my makeup off before the food got delivered because I was like, bitch, once this hits, you're not going to want to wash your face. So I was already ready for bed, right? And I lay down, and anytime I'm high, I get like really horny. I don't know about y'all, but there's some, I don't want to expose myself, but guys, plural. Anyway, on Snapchat that I like to message every once in a while. And when I was laying down, like the second I laid down, I was just overwhelmed with this sensation of like, I'm fucking horny. Anyway, so I messaged one guy, and then within seconds, I pass out. Like I fell asleep, and I had the TV on, so I heard that in the background. And then I woke up at 1 a.m. still fucked up and wanted to eat more. And so I ate the rest of the insomnia order that got delivered. I went downstairs because I know that my friend / roommate has this bag of, and that's the inner fat girl. Like I'm not even trying, but I will see, oh, is that food? Oh, is that candy? Anyway, I went in her bag and there was like a fruit roll up left, and I was like, do I really want to do this right now? And I ate it, and I told her this morning, I was like, I will buy you some more. I'm so sorry. But anyway, all of that stress for what? For me to 30 minutes after that, talk myself in and out of going to the gas station because I was like, this is not enough. Like, I want more candy. And I put on some pants. I walked downstairs. So we're on 3 floors. I'm on the 2nd floor, and I walk by one of the big mirrors that she has, and I was just like, you don't need to be doing this. So then I walked back upstairs, and I laid back down in bed. I took my pants off for a few seconds, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. You're never getting high ever again. You might as well go out with a bang, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is just me talking myself into tomfoolery. It is what it is. Okay. And this morning I wake up still fucked up. I was just like, how? I didn't have a client at work until later, but I was going in at 9 a.m. to get my extensions put in. And I was just like, okay, I need to take a Vyvanse. I need to chug this coffee. And it worked. I woke up no longer high. But anyway, I decided it's just not my thing anymore. I didn't ever really smoke. Like, I went through a phase in high school, very short time period, maybe like junior year, where I smoked a little bit, and it was mostly drinking for me. But then whenever I was with my ex-boyfriend, I got into smoking because he was from Colorado. So we would go and visit every once in a while and then just have goodies with us. And that, compared to the shit that I was smoking in high school, was a huge fucking game changer. And then I developed this habit of eating a bunch of bullshit all of the time. Like, that was a hobby. Mondays were my days off. I would go to the grocery store. I would buy candy, like fruit roll-ups, Gushers, ice creams, fruity cereal, Cocoa Puffs, whatever. sodas, we drank Cokes, we went out to eat. And when we went out to eat, we always had appetizers, we had the entrees, we always got dessert. I gained a lot of weight in that relationship. Also, I stopped going to the gym. But anyway, I'm rambling. So decided it's not for me. I didn't miss it. It was just there. So I was like, you know what? Let me just eat it and get rid of it. I'm aware that I could have simply just thrown it away or given it to someone else, but I wanted to fuck around and I found out. Anyway, so that's new. So yesterday I recorded basically me just reflecting on this last weekend. We went out, my friends and I went out to this Halloween bar crawl on 7th Street. Also the high school reunion, my high school reunion. It was like a 12 year, was Friday, bar crawl, Saturday. Was fun, got home by 10:30, and then my friend Justin and I went out Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. And I just had the time of my life. We are both ADHD, so I feel like I can completely unmask when I'm with him. Like, we be like fucking unhinged, okay? And I hit him up when I was at the gym and I was like, I'm kind of down for Japan House. So we went and ate all you can eat sushi. Then we went and grabbed a coffee and we're sober. I haven't taken my meds that day, like just jamming in the car, like having a good time laughing. And I was like, wait, do we want to go out? So then we went out to Bottled Blonde on 7th Street, and DJ Aiden Brasher was there. He was also there the day that we went to Bottled Blonde for my divorce party, and I am just fucking obsessed with him. He is a cutie patootie, and also he is so good at what he does. Like, I fucking love a DJ. Again, it's Sunday, so there aren't a lot of people out. He caught on pretty early that we go live for fucking EDM. So there was like this 30-minute time period where he was playing for the crowd, because there was a crowd of people that did end up coming in, but then they left. And it was just me, my friend Justin, the DJ, the people that worked there, and maybe 4 other people in this bar. So he is playing back-to-back EDM bangers. I'm dancing, not even giving a fuck about my boobs, still in recovery. I think I'm only 5 weeks out. Jumping up and down, shuffling so fucking hard, doing all my spins, doing all my twirls. Like, I already did a rant about this on Snapchat, but I'm going to rant again about it because I can just not say enough how much I love dancing and how much I love electronic music. Dancing, I feel like every movement I make with my body, to every beat of the music, to every sound that is being made, is like I am on this frequency. Like, I feel connected to the universe. I feel like that is one of the purest forms of being free. And I feel the most free when I'm dancing. So just being out with one of my best friends, I'm happy to say that Justin is absolutely one of my besties. And just being in tune with this music and connecting, like, I just was on a high. And when I came home, I just felt just over the moon when I'm reflecting back on this whole entire weekend. Because I had many things to do. We had our high school reunion, and then we had that bar crawl. And before the bar crawl, I went across the street to this bar with some of my coworkers, and that was fun too. And the fact that I was just simply free to hang out with my friends, and I didn't have to worry about, am I doing too many things? Is my partner going to be upset with me? Like, I cannot express the immense gratitude and appreciation I feel for my life, for the opportunity to live this life. that I am living currently versus the beginning of the year, a year ago. That whole 3 to 5 years with my ex-husband just felt like I was in this box. I wasn't growing. I was dying. My soul was just shriveling away to where I didn't even recognize myself anymore, and I couldn't shine and I couldn't be me, which is so crazy. I am still in shock when I think about that time in my life, because really it wasn't that long ago. And when you are in it, you don't realize it. And since I've been out and since I have processed everything, it is just insane to me how much had happened that was just simply not okay. There was so much that was said that like it's not normal, it's not nice, it's not respectable, it is not okay. But I tolerated it. Why? Because I loved this person, because I cared about this person. But did it care about me? You know? Abuse is not love. And when you're in an abusive relationship, it's hard to realize that you are being abused because you don't want to think that your partner is doing those things. But they are. If your partner is putting you down, if your partner is controlling, if you and your partner are arguing all of the time, if you feel like you are walking on eggshells, if you feel like you are being criticized by them constantly and nothing you do is right in their eyes, there is nothing you can do, period, for this person other than to leave, because it's never going to be enough. And I'm trying to think about what my message was in the last video, is just, I guess, just focusing on the fact that I just feel so free and uplifted and re-energized. And I did, for a time period, identify as an introvert because, well, in a sense, I am an introvert. I would say I'm like a extroverted introvert. I like to go out. I like to dance. I can be loud depending on who I'm with, but also I like to recharge by myself. Like, I love time by myself. But when I was in this abusive relationship, I identified as an introvert, but mostly it was just because I didn't want to be seen anymore, because I knew that I wasn't my true self anymore. So if I was seen as this person that I didn't recognize, it just made me feel like a fraud. And I think I mentioned that in the last video, but I want to focus on this beautiful vibration that is dancing and sizzling throughout my body when I reflect. Just so grateful, because that past life that I was in was not a life. It felt like living in hell. It felt like just torture. It felt, in a sense, it is torture. It's equally as much self-torture as it is them torturing you, because how they feel and how they treat you or whatever, that's on them. What you tolerate is on you. So just being aware of the situation at hand, having your support system close to you, because this is something that narcissists will do, is they will try to isolate you, which my ex did. He didn't want me to see my therapist anymore. He didn't want me to see the psychiatrists that I was seeing anymore, because all of them were pointing at him being the issue, not the quote unquote ADHD. Speaking of ADHD, one of my clients recommended us read this book called The ADHD Effect on Marriage because he was so set on the reason that we were unhappy and that the reason that our relationship wasn't working was because I had ADHD and I didn't know how to manage it and fucking bullshit like that. So we listened to this book. And in this book, it suggested that we write down terms and agreements or like a contract because sometimes the ADHD partner would forget what they agreed to. And actually, before we listened to this book, my ex did suggest that maybe we should write a contract. And when he brought that up for the first time, I was like, fuck no, I don't want to do that. And then we listened to this book and they suggest that. And I was like, okay, well, maybe we should do that. The way he reacted, he felt like I disrespected him because he came up with that idea. But because it was from him, I didn't want to do it. But now we are hearing from a third party or whatever that we should do this. So he felt disrespected. That was a whole thing. Anyway, my contract, my side was I don't want to have sex if I don't want to. I don't want you to expect that I'm just going to drop everything and help you with the kids. Like, I am willing to help when I am available to, and I will help when you ask, but he would just get upset if he woke up and I wasn't fucking doing some shit, like I don't work or whatever. But anyway, his part of the contract was he wanted to have sex at least 5 times a week. He didn't want me to see my therapist anymore. He didn't want me to see my psychiatrist. He didn't want me to talk about our relationship to any of my clients or my friends. And that is isolation. I signed it, but I didn't do it. I continued to talk to my clients. And I didn't care because I didn't recognize that that's what he was trying to do. Like someone saying, oh, he's trying to isolate you, right? And you hear it, you like get it, but it didn't sink in that that was what he was doing. All I knew was I'm not going to stop talking. I'm going to continue to tell my truth because I know that there is something that is wrong. Not everyone is lucky like that. There are people in relationships where their partner will completely isolate them. Oh, you've moved somewhere else, or they make up these lies to turn you against your friends, and so now you don't have friends anymore and all you have is them. The purpose of them doing this is to make you feel dependent on them so that they do not leave. So when I'm reflecting on the fact that I just went to 7th Street twice in one weekend, when this was a specific place that he would not want me to go without him because it's dangerous, there were shootings and stuff like that, and he was like, I want you to go out and hang out with your friends. If it were anywhere else, like obviously it wouldn't be an issue. I just don't want you to go to 7th Street without me because it is dangerous. And I'm like, but that's the closest place to us. Dallas is also dangerous. Literally anywhere is dangerous. Anywhere can be dangerous. Anything can happen anywhere. But specifically, he just didn't want me to go there. Anyway, the fact that I was free to do so, I just felt so liberated in the fact that I got to dance and the fact that I got to hang out with my friends and I didn't have to worry about coming home to someone who's going to be fucking upset. Coming home to someone who's going to pick a fight with me that is going to last for 4 days straight, where we will probably resolve it, and then the next day he will add something else. The fact that I feel safe in my skin, in my body, my nervous system is calm, it just makes me want to cry sometimes when I think about the difference between me now and me back then, and how chaotic that environment was, and how it just felt like it was never ending, because it is never ending. They will keep you on your toes. It will always be up and down, up and down. Those highs and the lows, that is not a normal thing in relationships. Loving, caring, respectful relationships are pretty stable. Yes, of course you are going to argue, but you are not going to have the constant highs and the lows. And the highs and the lows, you become addicted to it. It is quite literally an addiction. You're addicted to the good. You're addicted to the high. So then you endure the low because you know that the high will be there. But the high isn't even really that high. And who they are when you're at that high, that's not the real them. The way that they treat you in the low, the disrespect, the anger, the controlling, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the putting you fucking down, that is the real them, baby. And the reason that you have the highs and the lows is because them being that higher person, that's not sustainable. They can only do that for so long. They can only white knuckle the quote unquote bullshit or whatever that you're not doing or that you're not saying for them for so long. That is why there are highs and lows. Because that good person, them apologizing, all of that is not real. All of that is manipulation tactics to keep you where they're at, what they show you, if they're throwing shit, if they're punching holes in the wall, if they're yelling at you, if they're hitting you, demanding sex, demeaning you, disrespecting you. That's who they are, and they are showing you that. So instead of listening to what they say they're gonna do or not gonna do, or even what they say about you specifically, if you're stupid, if you're fat, if you're too skinny, if you don't have an ass, you don't have boobs, whatever bullshit negative thing that they are saying, you just cannot believe them and you just cannot listen to them. And I know that's really fucking hard because this person is someone that you thought that you would have a life with, or you do have a life with, or you're trying to build a life with, or you're married to, or you have kids with, or whatever, right? This is supposed to be your partner. But newsflash, a partner does not treat you that way with disrespect. So do not tolerate that, because you deserve better. And you have to know that with every ounce of your being, with every inch of your freaking soul, you have to know that you deserve better and to not tolerate the bullshit that they are serving you on a platter. That is just one of the most important pieces, is to know your worth, is to know your value, but also is to be aware of the situation of what is happening around you, keeping your friends close. I feel very blessed and lucky that I have amazing fucking friends where there's just no judgment. There is just love and support. And I've known them for a very long time. One from 3rd grade, one from 4th grade, one from 6th grade, a couple from high school, a couple that I met in my adult life. And the connections that I've made with my clients, I am very, very, very blessed to have such an amazing support system, because without them, I do not know where I would be. Hopefully not back with that man. But if you're in a shitty situation, Or if you're in just a so-so situation where you're in a relationship, but you're not really happy and you kind of want to leave, but you don't want to hurt them. I want y'all to visualize, like just close your eyes and visualize yourself in the future. And visualize. Think about having everything that you've ever wanted and how that feels to you in your body. The money, the job that you want, the partner that you want, how they treat you, how they love you, how you feel in their arms, how you feel when you're kissing them, how you feel when you can just go to any restaurant. Doesn't matter the price, you don't have to worry about it. Just visualize and imagine that just pure joy and happiness and clarity and peace and love, and feel it from your head to your toes. Feel it wrapping around your whole entire body, on your skin, underneath your skin. Think about how all of that feels. And now think about how you feel now. There's a huge difference. And now believe that you can attain that future self. You can become that future self. You can have and do and be anything that you want to be. You just have to believe that you are worthy of it. Admit that you want better, and just start taking action. Just start taking little actions. Because for things to change, you have to do something different. You have to make different choices. Otherwise, things aren't going to change. Otherwise, you're going to stay exactly where you are. Anything is possible. Granted, there are limiting beliefs, right? So our body or subconscious wants to keep us safe. So thinking about changing, thinking about growing, thinking about doing something different is going to be uncomfortable. And because your body and your subconscious wants to keep you safe, they are going to just come up and throw things in your brain, like limiting beliefs, like, can you actually really do that? Or, oh, well, I don't really, blah, 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 blah. Like just negative shit to keep you where you are. It may come up as anxiety. You might be overthinking, and there's fear, of course. But you have to be courageous. Is that the right word? You have to want a different life. You have to want a better life. You have to want it. But just wanting it also is not enough. You have to make different choices. And this goes for anything in life, not just trying to leave an abusive relationship. I don't remember if I talked about this in the last episode or if this was the episode that I recorded yesterday. But I took this manifestation course, and the future that I wanted, the future that I truly wanted, and I just couldn't admit that I really wanted it, was because I felt bad. The life that I wanted was to be free and to be happy and to live and to grow and to create something and to be in a relationship that is simple and peaceful. And I'm going to say it, easy. And I know relationships aren't always easy, but I imagine that any healthy relationship is way easier than the fucking relationship that I was in, because it was abusive and it wasn't a real relationship. It's okay to admit that you want a different life. You don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay to admit that, hey, I don't want to be with this person. And that is what kept me for so long, was just that guilt. Oh, well, I did say this in this last episode. Like, guilt and shame, useless emotions. Be honest with yourself. And that was something that one of my clients had told me, like, be honest. And I remember I'm like, but I don't know what that means. Like, I didn't know what it was that I really wanted, but I did know. And what I wanted was to be treated better. What I wanted was to feel safe. What I wanted was to feel accepted and loved by my partner, not put down, not criticized constantly, not having to have sex when I don't want to. So wherever you are at in your life now, are you happy? And if you're not, what are the same choices that you are continuing to make that is keeping you stuck? So that is also something to dissect. When you think about your future self, you think about what you want, how you want to feel when you're walking down the street and people are looking at you. You want to feel confident. You want to feel like you're that bitch. You want to feel like you run shit, right? You could have an empire, a business, whatever it is that you want, however you want to look like. And just know that that is attainable. And just start making different choices. I feel like my last episode that I recorded that didn't have audio was like a lot better, but because now we're at 38 minutes and I'm like, I honestly don't even really know what else to say. I think I just had a lot of stories in that episode. I truly feel so blessed to be me. And I feel blessed to just be able to be happy, that I can be happy, and that I made a choice for myself to leave not only a relationship that wasn't serving me, but an abusive, toxic, soul-sucking relationship. And sometimes the abusive ones are one of the hardest ones to leave, because the other person usually does not want you to leave. But really evaluating your environment, acknowledging and seeing and noticing the patterns within your day-to-day with this person. If it's been 6 months and nothing's changed, it's not going to change. if they say, oh, I'm going to change and I won't do this anymore, but they continue to do it, okay, yeah, it's not going to change. But the tricky thing is, though, they will, and by they, I mean narcissists, abusers, whatever, they will have all of the excuses in the world. They also do not take accountability. They also gaslight you, where they make you question your insanity, and they'll flip whatever scenario onto you. And so if you are not aware of what is happening, you are going to fall victim to those manipulation tactics. This is why it is so crucial and important to have a support system, to go to therapy, not just couples therapy, but on your own. Because the thing is, some therapists don't know how to recognize a narcissist because narcissists are really good at putting on this mask. That's the highs and the lows, and who they are at the high is a mask. It's fake. Who they are when you first meet them is not real. They put on this front of charm and charisma and whatever, like they're hot shit or they're intelligent or this, that, blah, 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 to get you. And they can do that with anyone. So I just remember our marriage coach. So we've seen 1, 2, 3 marriage counselors, therapists. We did a marriage course. We had a marriage coach. Our marriage coach, bless her, she helped so much. We had our first session with her, and then after the first session was when I realized that, I think I'm actually in an abusive relationship, because one of my best friends who I live with now and is a therapist, had me promise to read this book called Why Does He Do That? About angry and controlling men. And I got the audiobook and I was listening to it and I was like, oh my God, this is my life. And the longer I started to listen to it, the more scared I got. Like, because you are in danger. You might not think that they'll hurt you. There is just no telling what they are going to do when you are not giving them what they want. Because they don't care. Everyone is disposable to them. That is what is dangerous. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about what you think. They don't respect you. Everything is woe is me. They are very egotistic. They are very self-centered. They have the maturity of a toddler. They do not see any other reality other than what is in their head. So there is no amount of arguing. There is no amount of comparing or trying to get them to understand, because they don't want to understand. They don't care. They are right. They cannot be wrong. And they are going to get what they want because that's how they've been their whole lives. That is what is dangerous. And they will hurt you in the process to get what they want. Whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, it does not matter. So after I listened to that book was when I planned my escape, because things did escalate. But anyway, that was the first time I left. I ended up coming back because he had this whole spiritual awakening, and We started talking again after, I don't know, like a couple weeks. I didn't move back in until after a month because I told myself, well, I'm always going to have this fear. So I'm going to have to just dive right back in, and either it's going to be the best decision I've ever made or it's going to be a learning experience. And yes, it was a learning experience. But anyway, I'll go into detail about why I left, when I came back, when I left again, when I came back, and then when I finally left. But our marriage coach, Amanda, I had a one-on-one session with her after I had already come back, and I told her when I had left the first time. I emailed her. I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to cancel my appointment because I left. I kind of realized that our relationship was abusive. And you know what she did? She congratulated me because she saw it. People will see it. If they're good therapists, if they're good people, if they are aware, everyone from the outside sees it. So anyway, then I see her for a second session after I've already come back, and I told her, so he's changed, but he hasn't changed. Like, he said all of these things and now I'm back, but he's like kind of going back on things that he says. And Amanda told me, Lisa, you spend too much time thinking about how he feels and what he wants. She was like, you need to be thinking about how you feel and what you want. And I remember telling her that that's what I try to do. But if and when I'm not thinking about him, he will tell me that I'm not being a good partner. And what she said was, Lisa, you know your truth. You know that you are not intentionally hurting him. She was like, you know that you are not doing anything on purpose to cause him pain or suffering or hurting him. She said that how he feels is his responsibility. That's on him. How he's reacting, how he feels slighted, how he feels disrespected. That is on him. So she told me to really hone in and think for myself. And at that time, that was very difficult to do because this person has groomed you to think about them. Because if you don't think about them, you will have to endure their whatever. Rapture? Is that the right word? If you don't fall in line, these are the consequences, basically. You don't fall in line, okay, that man's going to keep me up all night long. Doesn't matter if I have work in the morning. He will keep me up for hours, hours, and get me so riled up to where, okay, if we did quote unquote resolve the issue and I can't go to sleep and I take a Xanax, he then will judge me for the fact that I have to take drugs to calm down to go to sleep when this man does drugs for fun. Anyway, that was something he would always do, was if he's not getting his way, I'm not apologizing, I'm not reacting or responding the way that he specifically wants me to. So then we're going to argue. And how long are we going to argue? For fucking hours until I say what he wants me to say. And because we've argued for so long, now he's upset and now he can't go to sleep. So, what's the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to have sex with him and get him off, because that's how he's going to sleep, is after coming. So, after he's kept me up for hours already, and you might be wondering, why don't you just leave? I've tried going into the guest room, and that man will follow me into the guest room. There's not a lock on the guest room door. He will follow me in there. He will lay right down next to me, and he will continue to bitch and complain about his feelings and about how I don't care about him and blah, blah, blah. If I go back into our bedroom and lock the door, he will bang on the door. You can't lock me out of my own bedroom, blah, blah, blah. And then I unlock the door, and then okay. And it's the same. Oh, if I go to pack up a bag, he'll stand in front of the door and will not let me leave. Physically will not let me leave, because he's closed the door before, the closet door. Has kept me locked up in the closet with him. Has kept me locked up in the bedroom with him. And when I say locked up, it's literally him just standing in front of the door and not moving. And if I scream, if I yell, he's not moving. He has taken my phone, my keys, my wallet 2 or 3 times before, so that I physically cannot leave the house because we're arguing and he's not being heard anymore, and he wants me to sit there and not just listen to him about his feelings, but acknowledge how he feels, own up to my part of the situation, and then tell him what I'm going to do differently next time so that doesn't happen. And when you're watching a marriage course or you're watching marriage content, yes, those are things you do in relationships. If your partner is coming to you about an issue, about how they feel, yes, you are going to be empathetic and caring and listen to them. But when they're constantly coming to you about an issue, about something you said or didn't say, or something you did or didn't do, that they feel so disrespected and they feel this and they feel that and they're angry, yeah, that's abusive. That's abuse. That's not love. That's literally a grown adult throwing a temper tantrum because they're not getting their way. They feel some type of way like that. That's not your issue. That's their issue. And they will tell you it's your fault, make it your fault, act like it's you, turn it on you, whatever. None of that is real. It's not real. It's not real. Hey, let's get back to reality. And that's for real. Is knowing the difference between their whatever's going on in their head and what reality is. So being aware of yourself, of your intention, of what you're doing or not doing, or just being aware of your truth. That way you cannot get manipulated by someone. Be aware. Be in reality. Because holy fucking shit, for about 3 years, I was not living a real life. I was in his perspective, in his brain, in his feelings, in his emotions. That's a trauma bond. They will do everything in their power to avoid taking accountability and blaming you because they're angry at some fucking bullshit that happened in their childhood that they still haven't processed, that they still can't get over. They will forever have that victim mindset. You do not have to play into that. So when we're thinking about our future selves, who we want to be, the life that we want to have and visualize the feeling of gratitude and imagine as if it is already happening. That's how you get to your future self. But also in the present, taking accountability for your own choices, your own actions. Are you making the choice to stay stuck? Are you making the choice to stay exactly where you are, but then you're also complaining, hey, I'm guilty as fuck about this. I will go on a food binge sometimes and then complain about how I feel bloated or how I'm not losing any more weight, but I'm literally making that choice to DoorDash food, to eat candy, to whatever. So it's pretty simple. If you want to be happy, you want a different life, be clear on what that is going to look like, and then dissect what's going on in your life now and what you need to do differently. And if that means leaving a toxic, abusive relationship, okay, go off. It's gonna be hard. It's not going to be easy. Whether you're trying to leave an abusive relationship or you're trying to leave a relationship in general that doesn't serve you, or you're trying to be different and change, habits are a motherfucker. And when we've been having the same habits our whole entire lives, it is going to feel uncomfortable doing something different. You just also have to be aware that it is going to be uncomfortable. But think about the outcome. Think about where you can be. Think about that happiness and freedom and whatever it is, the why of why you want to be different. Let that consume you. Let that motivate you, and then become disciplined by continuing to make choices to get to where you want to be, instead of making the choice to stay exactly where you are and then complaining about why you are exactly where you are. Because you got to take accountability. I think I'm going to end that right there. I'm like, wait, what was the point of this podcast? Accountability, growth, gratitude. Gratitude practice is pretty spectacular, honestly. It's something really easy and quick that you can do either in the morning or at the end of the day, just writing 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. And it can be simple as in, I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for electricity. You know, we have electricity. I've got this ring light on right now. I have this mic. Imagine if we were living in a different time where we don't have electricity or running water. I think a lot of us take things like that for granted, and then we're so stuck in whatever mindset, whatever negative thing we're thinking or programmed to feel or programmed to think. Like, just start. Oh my God, there's one more thing that I said in that video that I no longer have because I didn't have the audio is I don't remember. There's a term for this word. It's a word. I don't remember what the word is, but I was the type of person where if I walked outside and the sunset is beautiful, I will take a picture of it. Will I ever go back and look at that picture? Most likely not, but to just admire something so beautiful on this earth. When I was in that relationship, I did not have the space to be able to admire something beautiful in life because I was so sucked in this vortex of his issues that my brain, there was no stop to smell the roses type shit, you know? So if you are free and you aren't in a toxic relationship. Again, just gratitude as well. Just start noticing the beautiful things in life. And the universe will hand you more things for you to acknowledge that is beautiful. That is how you shift your mindset. Instead of thinking about the negative shit that you can complain about that's not changing, start noticing and practicing gratitude for electricity, for the sun, for the wind, for anything that you want to be grateful for. Write down 5 things. Really, I mean, it's pretty simple. It doesn't have to be a difficult exercise, but I feel like when you start practicing gratitude, you're changing already. Something that Dr. Joe Dispenza says is a lot of us, what do we do when we wake up? Oh, we get on our phones. Oh, we're scrolling through social media, or we're scrolling through our emails. What are we thinking when we're scrolling? Oh, I wish I looked like that. Or, oh, I don't have that. Or, oh, this person at work emailed me. Oh, they're so annoying, and like shit like that. And you're already, as soon as your eyes open, you are already thinking negative things, and you might not even be aware of it. So let's do that. Be aware, be conscious, practice gratitude. And it is really helpful to write these things down. I love it. So, fuck, I'm on like 4 different tangents right now. So I'm just going to leave it there, okay? Life is beautiful. For us to have the opportunity to be in this body, to walk on this earth, to be able to speak, to be able to love, to be able to feel emotions, whether it is sadness or happiness. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling sad, that's part of it. But the only reason we can feel down or that we can feel sadness is because we have the capability to feel the exact opposite as well. And that is also beautiful. The fact that we can see and we can just enjoy whatever that we want. That is a beautiful thing. And I do feel like a lot of us take that for granted. So what is this fucking episode about? I don't even know. Gratitude, being conscious, choosing to be happy, choosing to make different choices that will get you to your future self, to where you want to be, so that you are the utmost fulfilled. But also, don't wait for that thing to happen for you to feel the gratitude or whatever. Live and act as if you already have it. Live and act as if you are already your future self. You already have $1 million in your bank account. Have that mindset. Be your future self, and then you are going to be on this wavelength, because everything that is matter has frequency and wavelengths. So when you work on yourself, you vibrate at a higher frequency, and things that you want that are on that higher frequency, you will attract, because you yourself are on that higher frequency. And that is why having a growth mindset is so important. Working on yourself is so important. Being aware, being conscious, all of those things are so important. Because then you're not living subconsciously. Then you're not just like in the dark or stuck or a victim of your life. Because you're not a victim of your life. You are the creator of your life. So what kind of life are you creating? Answer that question. I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to y'all next time.
Bye.